So today we're going to be looking at fullbacks. These are some of the better cards that we can get in the game, and most definitely some incredible ones that are due to come out in the near future as well. And with obviously the introduction of the team of the season, we are looking at some of the better ones throughout the game. Obviously a big one in the league on team of the season is going to be our boy Nuno Mendes. Now, I get that obviously they should know what they're actually getting into, and they can't necessarily predict who's going to go this far in the Champions League, but the fact that we got a 93 a few weeks ago and then now straight into this 95 is just hilarious. It pretty much bottled every weight on this card. Like, naturally, he was kind of just one of them that was good. He's always been breaking through into the topper zone, but the 95 is definitely done that. Like, I mean, I still don't know whether I'd say he's absolute complete, but he's a very, very good left back when we do look at it. Now, obviously, one of the big ones that has come about, and in every centre-back video, I get Thuram can play centre-back, but let me know down below, do you actually play with him at centre-back? Personally, for me, I would put him at right-back. I'm currently finishing off this card in general, and so if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. I'd play him as a right back, and I mean, he's 6 foot bang on, that's what it was. He's 6 foot bang on, 94 rated, anticipates slide tackle block. I mean, he definitely could play the centre back role, but I mean, he's kind of the best right back we physically got at the moment. So I think with the centre backs I've already got, the right back position would be completely done. Like, it'd be absolutely taken off the market for a considerable amount of time. I don't even know if we've got a right back coming up in the Prem team of the season or any futures that would take Thuram out anytime soon. Maybe a quadruple play star plus that is on the nail might do, but realistically that's going to take some time. So the SBC for me, he is, as a fullback, the best in the business. Like, he is number one in my opinion. When it comes to a left back sort of view, I would go, it's such a tough one with left back because there's a lot that are standouts. I don't know if there is a full, this is the absolute one. Like, we've had obviously the Ferland Mendes, the Theo Hernandez's, and I do think Theo is dropping off slightly because obviously he's not had an upgrade. He's just not gone any further. We need to see him go that next level up. Like, we see him obviously in these 3 versions at the moment, and yes, he has got multiple evolutions that you could have gone with, to be honest, which is absolutely fine. Like, we could have made him at the minute with what we've got, little things, the 87. Say, to be honest, I don't know how many actual Evos are available at the moment in terms of left backs. It seems they've dwindled them down to bring them back up, but you just have to go on the evolution builder and you'll be able to see all of them that you could have gone for him. Obviously, if they're still here or if they're on a previous, it's show expired. There we go, that would show it. So obviously with this one, you can obviously see all of the others that would have got him up throughout the time that we've been available for him. So there's been quite a lot that could have upgraded him, and I think that is the point where I'd say he's better. Like, he's a much better card, but realistically you've got to kind of take him at face value with this. When we look at him at 70,000 coins now, he's still a very good card, and I wouldn't take anything away from his actual card, but I would say it's kind of now going to be only the track star that kind of features in that top zone, and maybe that's still with an Evo. I do think his base cards with an Evo, I mean, you'd probably go here, wouldn't you, really? Or could you get away with it without the Evo? I mean, I think realistically, if you listen to this, he's got to have the Evo at this point. There's so many cards you could choose. You need the Evo. That is number one. And I would say a lot of the time, if you can go into an Evo, you're probably putting him in first, more so than anybody else. kind of looking at a few of the lower pile now. We're looking at obviously your Robertsons, your Delos, your Robinsons. They're not really going to be anywhere. Zambrota, you've got another version now with him. Guerrero would be the same. Alaba's got a better upgrade. I mean, you could potentially be looking at Maicon now, whether you'd be looking at this version or obviously his World Cup, or World Prime, whatever it was. That obviously is a potential. I'd even say Thuram at this point is like Teo. He's probably still in the very usable, even on the base. But the Evo would be very nice to get, especially now we're going into Team of the Season. Lizarazu I'd probably miss out on at this point with this upgrade specifically. I didn't really like Zanetti. Carlos Alberto, Cafu, and Roberto Carlos as a base. Now, they are all getting into the points of an evolution. We're obviously seeing that Roberto Carlos will be up next. Cafu, 137. He's not a bad card, and I think you probably could get a bit out of him still. Carlos Alberto has always been my fan favourite because he can play that centre-back role as well. He has had two upgrades in the same promo as well. And then you have got Roberto Carlos. He's obviously got his Team of the Year card. Still no upgrade really there, but he has got the 90 rated that has got a few decent Evos that you could have added to him. Whether you'd want to add these ones specifically, we just know that Roberto Carlos is going to be there soon. So I would say with the base version, like Thuram, because he's available in the Evos, I would be looking there. But I'd probably suggest that they could be usable still, but they have got better versions as well. Like Thuram's 90, I would say you're probably still looking at the very usable. Maybe even a little bit more. Like Thuram in general is a very, very good right back. Like we said, we got 1.6 on him here, 350 and 165 on the base. I think the base, well, to be fair, the 90, even the 90 would be more of an Evo sort of card now at the moment as well, but we just don't have one readily available. Which kind of means that we've got a lot of base cards that are just, they're not worth it. Like, the nostalgic value of Jesus Navas obviously could go into the Evo, but realistically, you're just not going to bother. Same with Pedro Porro, Rolfo. If you're making a team around a Spurs team, an FC Barcelona, a Liga F Barca team, you're going for Fiorentina, then yes, like there's loads of cards that could go into there. But realistically, you're not going to most of the time, and we can't put that in every single one. Koyunde, I'd say Lam would go. Olga would probably go here. I'd even say Carlos, to be fair to him, as much as I do like the Evo portion of him. His Team of the Year was nice. I've just never been a massive fan since the Playstyle Pluses have been introduced. Normally, he's outrageously good. Like last year, once he got to that quadruple, he was much better, but we had better cards by then. That's why it's really difficult to get to that end of the game, and you don't really need it because obviously you've got more than likely a 99 somebody, a 98 somebody. So unless you really like Roberto Carlos, it isn't going to be the one. We got the FIFA covers here. Obviously, we got the Trophy Titans, the Prime Moments. That's unbelievable. I think that was really good. But the fact that he always has to have the dead ball because obviously it's Roberto Carlos, the whipped pass is just non-negotiable because you just don't need it. Like, no one's whipped passing unless it's one-on-one, and even then you have to whip pass to then control the ball to shoot. Otherwise, it just bounces off the post half the time. Team of the Years. That's always a big question. We've obviously got Karchawi, who's now got another version. We have Grimaldo, and then I believe if we go further down, we have Carvajal, and also a bit of Lucy Bronze. Now, when it comes to the Team of the Year, we have had a very good run with them. They are now slowly dropping off the price. And we got 226 for Grimaldo. Sakina would definitely, or Karchawi would definitely be a lot lower in comparison to obviously some of them because we have had the Liga and Team of the Season. We then have Bronze, who I believe was the cheapest at 158, and Carvajal, who I would consider the best at this point, 388. Now, in terms of all four of them, I would personally go, Carvajal is one of the better ones in my opinion. Lucy Bronze, I'd probably keep here. I think, yeah. To be fair, I do think with the Team of the Year, they have done very well this year to keep them at least in a running. Now, I mean, it depends on your style, because obviously, like myself, I am a fullback completely, that's it. Like, I don't do attacking wingbacks. Grimaldo is most definitely a wasted talent on my style, but I have got enough knowledge to know that when I've seen him in that attacking wingback style as well, he does very well with it. So if you wanted to play that 5-back and almost have him as that left mid, he works pretty well with it. Frimpong, I would actually probably miss now. Militao as a fullback. Now, this is always an interesting one because I do think he's got that talent to do it, but I just don't see why people would. He's a much better centre-back. He's one of them that I do like. It all depends on what you were to get out of it as a fullback. As a fullback, I'd go usable. As a centre-back, he's still absolutely up here in my opinion. Danilo would drop down. Most of these, to be honest, are now kind of... When I say that they're a miss in comparison to these cards. Now, some people might have a Gosson still, or might have upgraded a Miguel, and that's absolutely fine, but that's not everybody, and we kind of rock with that. McManaman, I think, could be an Evo just because of his nature with the card itself. Lucas, no. Harvey Elliott could be a nice Evo, especially if you are building that Liverpool team, especially after this year. It's an iconic one from them. Dumfries is still obviously incredible, same as Baude. Both of them in the Numero Foot promo, which, to be honest, I actually really liked the dynamics of these. Just, it was very cold in its dynamics. I do think he needs an Evo personally. Like, you've got a few that he could go into, but I would say that you're definitely waiting out for a proper Evo for him. So I would kind of go into the very usable, same as Baude. I think Baude, for me, is slightly better on that left-hand side. He maybe even, just judging off all the left backs, could go up one more. 985, he's obviously coming in with one play style plus. I mean, you don't always have to have them. They are most definitely driven towards the roll plus plus and the play style plus, because naturally, stats wise, we've got a lot of very good talented. I would say you could. I think you could push him up there because the talent there, he's very questionable, and I do like the stats. But then you've got to argue, is a Nuno Mendes up there as well? I would say this version of Nuno Mendes would be kind of seen as the very usable. Whereas when we do go into the kind of better, the 95, I think he jumps straight up into there. And even though the playstyle plus, you're going 2 and 3 versus 1, I think Baude's set of skills is a lot better. Boy, I'd actually kind of go into more of the Evo potentially usable, as I really liked him at right back. I think he's a little bit better than what we've seen over certain players. Camavinga, I mean, another one that very much like Militao, he can play the left back role 100%. Whether I put him there, I really like him as a CDM. I think his stats most definitely emulate more of a defensive mid in my opinion. So we'd go in usable like Militao, but I would personally put him higher as a DM more so than anything. Didn't like Cuadrado this year. DeMarco's still usable. You could possibly even get an Evo because we've got a better version of DeMarco. He's outrageously good. So he's another one that really kind of comes in under that Foot birthday era that did incredible. Now, obviously with him, he is going to be more attacking wing back if anything. Whether you'd argue that you'd prefer him a bit further down, it's totally up to you. But when we look at the likes of a Cancelo now with the Evos on top, and same with Walker, who will get there eventually, it's going to be an interesting run to see where they go in the future, because Cancelo right now is in every Evo imaginable. Like, we've had him in so many different ones. He's been up there with the best of them, and just the fact that you can put him into that CDM role with the ball-winning midfielder is an interesting one as well, because I think a lot of right backs with the stats that he possesses do quite well pulling himself into the middle. We saw it with Trent, we saw it with Atal. Acuna was another great one. There's been a lot of left back, right backs that have moved into the centre, and especially a DM that do incredibly well. Lahm is another fantastic one. So I'd say Cancelo would definitely be the Evo, and he would shoot himself straight back up. Ooh, Carfu will come back to. Walker, I'd possibly just go into more of the very usable at this point. I like him, and he's definitely due an upgrade very soon, but I would suggest him to be kind of let off a little bit with the fact that he predominantly is just a lot of pace. Like, the defensive attributes are questionable. I'd go Carfu into kind of the very usable as well. Kimmich, I'd put him there. Alphonso Davies, now he's one that really kind of comes in at a certain level. Again, attacking wing back, it's going to be my personal style that really holds a lot of these back, and that's kind of the point. I want to know, if you're an attacking wing back sort of style, what do you think about these players personally? Like, are they better than anticipated, or am I kind of right with them? Obviously, Ferland Mendy is an SBC, very difficult to gauge in terms of where it'd be on the market. I really like Ferland Mendy even from the base version. If you've kept up with an Evo trend, you should be pretty much at the level already still. So naturally, no matter if you've done this SBC or if you've kind of upgraded him to the max with this 84, both of them should be at a certain decent level. Like, we can make him to 92 straight away, which is nice. I would kind of be looking more into the very usable. I think another upgrade now, like if he did, I know he won't, but if he did to get a team of the season, that would be the push he needs. And it would take him way above Walker and Davies at the moment, but nothing too crazy up there. We then have Capdevia, outrageous free player. Now, whether you love him or not, I think he's in the very usable. Is a great upgrade, and he will drop down quite quickly as free players don't stay in that top level very often. Trent for me, again, I'll go usable for people. I don't like him. In the full spec, it just doesn't have that defensive limit for me anyway, but there is a lot of people that I know think he is outrageously good, and for me it's just not. It really isn't. Now, we do have two different versions of Batcher. We've obviously got her coming in as an SBC and also then as a FUT birthday. Again, two different variations for her, which is nice. It's only a one upgrade, which we said would happen, obviously going from the double to the triple, or the triple to the quadruple, or even the double to the quadruple. That means that they don't have to upgrade the rating that often. And as you can see, stats wise, 6 on the shooting, it's not really needed, is it? Really, it's just kind of stat padding more than anything. Kind of being able to turn her into a CDM sort of vibe. Now, I would say the 93 comes in at least okay. I mean, the 5-star obviously helps, but realistically, you're always going to look for the triple. Obviously, kind of playstyle plus wise, you're going with the double whipped pass, and then it's jockey versus intercept, and then add in quick step to her. Now, I don't think she's necessarily that crazy worth it. I would personally be looking more for a usable on both of them, and that's it. Like that's kind of your limit. Same with Alaba. Most of the FUT birthdays are kind of in that sort of vibe. Obviously, we look at the kind of likes of Florenzi. A great Evo came out for him. I don't know if it's still available, but it was a 92 that was just incredibly great value. If we got him here, I think it was... Did I put it? I think I might have put him into this one. I think it was this, and you could put him into like the Gladiator, then into that. So you basically had the 9. This was it. We had the 92 on the shooting, and then the big defensive and physical upgrade. And you could play CDM. I know you could already play centre mid with him, but it was a stunning upgrade for him, which puts him back at kind of his best and as a 5-star. So very, very good Evo there. Kirkeres, I think, definitely goes into an Evo. Cole, a drop down. Angelino, I would. Digne, I mean, most of these now, to be honest, like even Yuri, Silva, Doherty, you're not upgrading him really, are you? Did Ben White? I think Ben White went up a little bit actually. He's 92 rated now, so he's got the anticipate and also the slide tackle. Still a good right back. Still a chance to go through. They're only one down, which is still a comeback ability, but PSG look good, don't they? They looked phenomenal in their organisation compared to what we've seen with PSG. Very, very good performance. Get the goal, shut the shop, and then see them at home. It's a very interesting way, and Arsenal have got to bounce back. Whether Ben White gets the upgrade, we've obviously got Odegaard with him. If I was to say he was to stay at this, say they're to lose, and he stays at a 92, I'd probably miss him, to be honest. I think... What would you do? Like, I mean, he's going to be a miss, isn't he? Because he's just not going to be that... could you go usable still? I'm just thinking when it comes to a right back, I just don't fancy him in it. I really don't. He's got the stats, and I just can see the comments. I can. So we'll go into usable with him. I could see the comments that people like him. I just think when we look at what we've got, he's just not necessarily going to fit in. Predominantly, a lot of people are going for the very usable, but there's loads of options, and even then, an Evo is just going to sort you out with a Teo or anybody like that. Rolfo, you probably want her into the Evo more than anything. McKay would drop down. Vasquez, which is finished now, in fact, so he's absolutely gone. I quite liked him actually. He was one on the right hand side that I liked, even though the only thing I disliked, and I think it's what drops him down personally for me, is the fact that he doesn't have any defensive playstyle pluses. He's got the anticipate, the intercept, and the block, but not having one and having technical, I can kind of get behind the incisive at least, but no defensive is just a real killer in my sort of vibe. I think he just needs that a little bit better. We then have Lazarazu, 48,000. You could get away with him a little bit. It's kind of like the Bompastor. He's just there. Like, he's a standard right left back. DaCosta is another one that most definitely is coming in with some upgrades as well. He is an 88 flashback, so potential Evos on the rise. Obviously very much like Florenzi. Very, very nice vibe with the 5-5. Comes in under an Evo category and definitely salutes it. Then we've got the kind of brand new cards. We've obviously got a lot of the Immortals, the Team of the Seasons that come in that are very good. And I've thrown in Pavard and Llorente as well, which, to be honest, they kind of do themselves. Obviously, Maldini puts himself at the very top. I think that one's quite an easy one to put in there. We then have Bale. I personally like him as well. I think in-game, he definitely is a better right winger in terms of any of his other versions, but the left back's just nostalgic. It works. Maybe you go a little bit too hype with him and he could be more very usable, but I think what you can get out of him is pretty nice. We have Zambrotta. Obviously, the 89 is going to be looking at the Evo. Zanetti, I think you could get a bit out of, personally. Zambrotta in the 93, another one that got the upgrades pretty right for him, to be fair to him. He just never had anything. Now, he may not be the absolute top of the top. Intercept, relentless press, proven's nice, but I do think he's more of the very usable side of stuff. Llorente and Pavard, I think they are slowly coming out of the curve. You could go, I would say, more usable for the Pavard. And Llorente, to be honest, I do prefer him as a kind of centre mid. Centre mid is much a better position for him. I think right back is great to start with, but when you've got all of them stats, you don't want him stuck at right back, and this was the problem. And it's the same, it's the kind of same with Pavard. If you've got him at right back, he is decent at centre back as well, so it is a bit of a struggle to kind of take them out of a position that works well. I do love Lala in this game. I think as a premium pass, it was a great addition as a first level reward. It does think, well, okay, left backs and right backs are going to hit that new wave, but it's always interesting. Gaia would be more into the usable. We then have Karchawi. I was very concerned that that card just wasn't going to take off, and it kind of maybe set a precedent for the Team of the Year's upgrading, but we saw Renard have an upgrade, which was nice, but it just felt like she went a little bit backwards in comparison to the Team of the Year, but it is always interesting to see where we can go with. And then we move on to the final 4 Team of the Seasons. Hato most definitely was an interesting one when we got him in the numero foot. He seemed to have some very good ability that could have been for a potential Evo off his numero foot card. And then we've got a very cheap version of him. He's got the quick step, the long ball pass, and a slide tackle. Stats wise, looking decent across the board. Can play the centre back, but whether you just want him as a left back, I think he definitely comes in as a definite usable at the minimum, but then he will get dropped out very quickly, because you got to remember, this is week 1 of Team of the Season. They are going to be, maybe in fullbacks terms of view, not necessarily a crazy amount, but with 3 teams coming out every week, there's going to be a solid amount as well. Klaus is another one that I would say is coming in as at least a solid usable option in himself. Great pace, decent stats across the board, kind of comes in more as a centre mid more than anything, hence why these right backs are always great as that kind of CDM. They tend to be in the middle sort of height, decent weak foot, some nice playstyle pluses, but most definitely the stats are normally pretty there. So another one that I would consider more into a usable kind of standpoint more so than anything. Then we obviously have the left back, is it Denmark? The Danish left back, 94 rated, rapid, whipped pass, obviously a bit of intercept. The whipped pass for me is just the shame one, that it doesn't work in terms of getting a volley, getting a head from the whipped pass. Unless it's just what I'm doing wrong, it always seems to go wrong whenever I try anything along them lines. And then finally we do have I think it's a free objective card. If you go into lovely FC25 objectives, you should see her, unless she's gone. She might have actually, is she gone already? That was quick. Or she was got to have been an objective. I'm pretty sure she was. 4 objectives. It has expired already. Wow, that was quick. Expired yesterday as well. So obviously this was going to be the rush flash. I suppose it was a flash event. Obviously you got to keep your eyes out for this. But left back, right back, sorry, incisive jockey, and also a little bit of slide tackle, which was not terrible to be fair. Again, another card that's got some solid stats across the board. So again, whether you'd say she'd be worth money on the market, I'd probably list a lot of these like Klaus. Could potentially go one up. I would say these two would be usable. Klaus could possibly hang with the big boys, but I would say more usable at this point in itself. So let me know down below what you think. Make sure you do like and subscribe on this, and I will catch everybody for the next one. Peace.